Supply management is a key department in any organization, whether the department is decentralized, centralized, or a hybrid. They're responsible for acquiring the goods and services that keep the operation functioning. The purpose of this course is to provide a closer look at how a fully functional and integrated supply management department operates. An integrated supply management department is most often found in organizations that subscribe to a centralized model, but it can also be found in some hybrid companies with mature supply management departments. These lectures provide an overview and explanation of the 4 pillars that make up an integrated supply management team and how they work together. It also covers the other departments in the organization that form an integral part of the overall supply chain and the role each plays in it. These 4 pillars are the foundation upon which a mature supply management is formed. In this course, we'll cover each pillar in detail and what each offers not only to supply chain, but to the organization's overall health and bottom line. Finally, we'll cover the group that supports the structure, procure to pay. Before we begin, though, it's important to point out that not all organizations want or need to have a fully developed supply management department. Why? Because not all organizations are created equal. Some small to medium-sized organizations may be better served with purchasing done at the field level in order to support the local community. Other medium to large national and international companies may find the center-led supply management of more benefit in that they negotiate the complex equipment and service agreements that operations can then tap into and take advantage of volume discounts. This leaves the day-to-day purchase decisions at the field level. There are also some organizational structures that can simply not afford to maintain the level of oversight and management an integrated supply chain management requires. While when interconnected and fully functional, they do provide significant benefit, they also require experienced and knowledgeable teams to manage them. That being said, no matter what type of supply management department you work in, it's important for you to understand the concept as well as how each pillar supports the next. And while not all of the pillars may be employed, the supporting structure usually remains, no matter what form the supply team takes. For the purpose of this course, we're going to assume that there are 2 groups that form the supply management team as a whole. The first is procurement, which consists of strategic contracting and tactical purchasing. The second is logistics, which include inventory, warehousing, and the movement of goods. Their number and location are irrelevant to the overall intent of the course. What is relevant is that they are under the direction of and report to a central supply management office. The 4 pillars that form the foundation of an integrated supply management department are supply and demand planning, strategic contracting, vendor relationship and performance management, inventory warehouse, and logistics management. These 4 distinct but integral pillars work together to form an efficient, effective, and mature supply chain management department and are supported by the procure to pay group. Each pillar requires the other to do their part, which makes them interdependent. We'll cover each pillar and the part each plays in an integrated supply management department and describe the function and purpose provided by the procure to pay team. To begin, it is important to note that a supply chain management department, regardless of its overall structure, cannot exist and doesn't function without the first pillar, supply and demand planning. Strategic contracting can only be done when the first pillar is actioned. An organization that operates without having a group that fills this function, in general, only has a small number of people who do purchasing as required with no strategic focus to the immediate or distant future needs and has no quantifiable value. While this may seem harsh, it is a reality, but one that some organizations have made a conscious decision not to do. That can be driven by the size of the company, the structure, or the scope of work they take on. Having explained the concept of this course and how some companies may not have a need for an integrated supply management department, let's move on to how the first pillar works.